here we go. We're heading into town to get supplies. We're prepping for GrizzBait, and I was thinking about something earlier. Should wait till I get off this crazy road. Oh man. Oh boy. She's rough. This is where I almost hit the horse. There we go. Back to civilization, paved roads. So I was thinking about our transition to doing some dual sport stuff in 2024. Dual sporting is actually more dangerous than off-road riding, which is what we're doing now. We focus mostly on off-road riding, single track trail in the forest, double track trail in the forest, rarely, if ever, getting on a lot of Forest Service roads, and almost never being on a paved road. So when I think about dual sport and what that means, you're going to be spending a lot less time on single track trails, probably a lot less time on double track trails, but you'll be doing stuff like Forest Service roads, power/hydro lines. From my experience, the larger the road, the more danger there is. Often when we're riding these bikes, we're basically gravel surfing. You're up on the pegs and you're cooking along in third, fourth gear. The back tires breaking loose here and there, but you get into like a rhythm and a flow, and you're scooting along pretty good. Now, that adds speed, and when you're on a road that has the potential to have cars on it, or trucks, or campers, you always have to be ready for the blind corner. Always, always, always. Imagine that there's a truck coming at you around the blind corner. All the time, always. I know it seems silly, and lots of corners, you have lots of warning, but blind corners can be a killer, literally. So my argument of why dual sport is more dangerous than off-road, sure, in off-road riding, you are falling off your motorcycle all the time. There's no question. Usually you're going to drop that bike 1 or 2 times minimum per outing, but they're typically tip overs. What was I just saying? Everything is usually at relatively low speed. As soon as you're on dual sport bikes, even if you're doing 30, 40, 50 kilometers an hour, which is not that fast by automobile standards, it's fast on a motorcycle. Because when you hit things going 30, 40, 50 kilometers an hour, especially things that are not moving, or even worse, moving towards you, that's a catastrophic crash, because that has the potential to kill you. Off-road riding is typically slower speeds. We're talking broken collarbones or clavicles, sternum injuries, broken wrists, and then from the lower leg, which is worse just because they're usually bigger bones, there's some tib-fib breaks, ankles, stuff like that. That's off-road. It's very unlikely, it's possible of course, but it's very unlikely that you're going to die in an off-road riding accident because our speeds are so low. Dual sport, I'm sure you're starting to see the picture I'm painting here. I've lost friends with head-on collisions on transit sections, Forest Service roads, fire roads, whatever you want to call them, where the speeds get wicked up a little bit and the blind corners are many. And after having 300, 400 corners where nothing is around the corner, you start to forget and you get lazy and you lose an important habit, which is always making sure you make the assumption there is a pickup truck coming around the other way. Because I can almost guarantee there will be one at some point. And even when you're prepared for it, it's still unnerving. It is still unnerving. It comes up quick, and thankfully you've left yourself a margin to operate within, but it's still a heart-pounding, adrenaline surging experience. In a nutshell, that's my argument of why dual sport bikes are more dangerous than off-road motorcycles. Agree, disagree, I don't know. Everyone has a different experience and everyone has a different opinion, so as usual, throw them below. We love to hear those stories. I'm curious about you guys, and we often get guys who tell us a story in the comments about their experience, and we appreciate that because we're forever curious about how other people are living, what their motorcycle lifestyle looks like compared to ours. Obviously, they're all different. Leave it in the comments below.